Hello, grade 12, your first activity using a 2D array. And this is quite a nice one. Just need to be very careful about how we're going to deal with it. It's activity 7, number 2 on page 181. So, first of all, we don't have an array declared, and if you look at the question, you'll see a picture. Let me go open the question so that you can actually see it here as well. Sorry that I didn't open it before. Now you've got to wait for me to open the question. Okay, so, by the way, we're nearly finished with all our work. 2D arrays is the last part that of the work that we have to cover for grade 12. And of course a bit of revision. So, don't need to lose hope, eh? At all. We're doing quite well. So here we have our activity 7 number 2, and here is the 2D array, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. You have to declare an array of that type. So I'm going to declare a global array, and remember I showed you before. Now I'll put it in private here. I'll say ARR 2D colon array. You can call it any name you want, okay? ARR attendance. But calling it a 2D array, meaning that we know that it's 2D, you know? You can call it any name you want. Okay, what did I say? How many rows were there? Because the rows come first. From 8 to 12. 8 dot 12, comma. How many columns? From A to F. Inverted comma A, quote them. They are chars. Char data types can be used to number our columns and our rows, and also our indices of our normal single arrays. And what's going to go in each one? We can have integer, because attendances, isn't it? You know, people are not going to have, you know, there's not half a person or point of a day. It's all integers, and that is it. That is our array declaration, AR2D. We'll call it AR2D. Right. Now, the instruction says enter the total number of learners in the school. Use the edit box. There it is. Okay, and then enter data. They say use an input box, but I'm going to fill my 2D array not with an input box. It's going to take too long. I'm going to use a random number. So in our double click, we're going to use a random number, but let's go and read our I total for our total for the school, because they want us to know how many children are there in the school, and we'll read it from that edit box. EDT number int string to int EDT number dot text. Then we have to worry about the loop. Now the nested for loops. Now you might have noticed we use a nested for loop to go and access every single box of our array. A for loop for the column and a for loop for the row, and one inside the other. That is the standard way of accessing our array. How to, you know, enter things in an array or display an array. We use a nested for loop, or we use a for loop in some way. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say for C row equals C col equals A to F, and then for our row equals 8 to 12. Yeah. So we have C row, C col, sorry. C col is our column. It's a char data type, and our row is an integer. So we choose our for loop counters carefully. A character if it's a indices are characters, and an integer if our indices are integers. So a character data type for our column, I call it C col, so I know, and an integer for our row, so I call it our row, so I know which one I'm using. I'll say for C col, these are for loop counters, okay, equals, was it A to F? I can't remember. Was it A to F? Let's see my rate. There it is. Yep. C col is A to F. Do, and then for our row equals 8 to 12. Do. And this is so easy. To 12 do. Then we say ARR 2D square brackets R row comma C col equals, and I'm going to use a random range random range, and I'm going to go from 0 to, it's attendance, isn't it? It's attendance, so the people are there. It's the people that are there. 0 to 40. Okay, random range. Calculation attendance of learners. There are 6 grades in each grade. Okay, so let's say there's 40 maximum in each grade. Okay, and yeah, of course we're going to have a bit of we're going to have some children that are like 0, you know, but 41. Of course, we need to remember, if you're going to go up to 40, then you must use 41 in random range. If your upper bound must always be 1 more than what you want it to be. So we know it's an array of integers, so that will work perfectly fine, won't it? Absolutely. Would be nice if we had a nice 2D array to display this in, hey, but we don't. Yeah. Shall we go and make one quickly, just for fun? Okay, let's go. I mean, a string grid. Sorry, not a 2D array. We had a nice string grid to display it in. Right, we can go and put it in quickly. Hey, why not? String grid 1. Row count. We must make sure that we have the right number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 1 more. So that's 6. And A, B, C, that's 6. So we need 1 more. So we need 7 columns. Col count. I'm just going to do it over here. Col count is 7. That's the thing. You just need to make sure you have enough columns and rows to match all the input. Okay, come on, man, don't do that to me. Right, there we go. So it's quite a big string grid. Oh well. Okay, there it is. Now we can go and put our columns in and so on. Let's do it all in the enter data button. Okay, in the enter data we'll go and display. We need to get the columns into our string grid. So and I'm going to have icol, then I've got to use icol. Why? We know why, hey? Because we have to, the indices, to use our string grid, you have to use integers to reference the box numbers of the columns and the rows. You can't use A to F for our row equals, and also you can't say 8 to 12. Yeah, we have to now go and get another counter for our row. I'm going to call it IR. Yeah, it's quite a fiddle. Equals 0. And then we'll increment IR. And then we do this. Yep. We are going to put in the inside bits. S string grid 1. I never named it. icol, comma I row equal ARR 2D I row comma C col. Yep. Now, if this works, it'll be a miracle, but I've got a funny feeling that it'll work. Let me just explain to you what we did here. So we had to get, because our string grid is numbered with numbers, I col and I, oh, it's got to be IR here, eh? IR. And our 2D array is numbered with characters of the alphabet, and it's numbered from 8 to 12. We want to, our string grid has to start numbering from at least 1 so we can get the data in here. We can't start at row number 8 down here. So that's why I had to have a counter for I row and another counter for the column. And the string grid.cells has the column first and then the row, and the AR2D using those loop variables. So let's go and run this and see what happens. Right, oh, we have to go into string. I forgot about that, eh? The string grid has to have strings in it, not integers. This 2D array is an array of integers. The string grid must have strings in it. Right, so let's go and type in a number here. Just any number, and there's our numbers. Super awesome. Super. Does work. We just haven't got our headings in, hey? So we can go and put our headings in too, because we can do that. We know how to do stuff. We know how to do it now, don't we? So in the enter data, let's go put our headings into our string grid. I know it's going to be a little bit time consuming, but it's nice to see it happening, nice to see how it works. I'm going to use this over here. I'm also going to set our row. See, we're doing the column, so we're going to make our row be okay. So we need our col equal 0 here, and then begin and end. We're going to increment our col, and we're going to say string grid 1 dot cells, and 0 comma our col will be equal to C col. A little bit. C col, that should do it. And then for the row 8 to 12, you might understand some kind of a pattern that's happening here. RR equals 0, and then begin and end. The more we do this, the more it sort of clicks. And now I'm going to do this string grid IR column number 0 will be int to string our row, and there we will have our headings. Okay, let's run the program. Put any number in here and click enter data. 8 to 12. Why have I got too many of here? This doesn't make sense. I don't like that extra row there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, A, B, C, D. Ooh, I've named the wrong way. That's what I did. It's just named wrong. 8, 9, 10 supposed to be rows. So row 8 to 12. Column 0. And row I forgot about that. That I col comes first in the string grid, whereas in the 2D array I col is not. See, even I forget that. But your column comes first in your string grid, and in your 2D array your row comes first. It's an easy mistake to make. Right, enter data. There it is. Now it's fixed. Everything's fine. Right, now we're going to do our sum of every single item in our 2D array. Okay, we have to go out because we want to find out what the number percentage of persons who were present. Enter the number of learners present, store these. So we did it. We did that with random numbers. Calculate and display the total number of learners at the school per grade. Okay, so show totals. We're going to do that. The array is going to have all the data in, like we saw. And we're going to go and look at each grade. Total of numbers per grade. So we're going to have a thingy per grade, and then we're also going to have the total number of learners for the whole school and put in a percentage. And this is only going to apply to one day. So this is filling up the array and displaying it. Now we're going to do our totals, and we're going to use our VAR. We need C col, and we need R row. Column integer. Now is that not how our array is? C col 8 to 12 and R row. Okay. So what's going to happen is we are going to use these nested for loop, and each time we get a grade, we're going to basically have a totaling variable, and I call it R total or R dot, And I'll make r tot equal to naught. And inside the row for that grade, I'm going to add up the actual array contents. Now, fortunately, it's an integer in the 2D array. Have we got this right? Because it's actually supposed to be the other way around. A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm sure, yeah, we've got to basically do it the other way around. Because we're going for each grade. Yeah, that's such. Like this. We are calculating the total for each grade. Okay. And then before we go to the next grade, we're going to go and put it in. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at our picture. Right, so you have to picture this actually. We're going to go for each grade. Okay, so the for loop is going to go from r row equals 8 to 12. Now, if r is on 8, and then we're going to add up all of those numbers for that grade. And that is what that is doing. R tot. So this is going down the row, and then we're going to calculate the total of all that. Then before we go on to the next grade, we're going to display the total in the rich edit. And it's already output dot lines dot add grade plus int to string r row, okay, plus, and then a space, and then plus int to string r tot. So then we're going to display the total for that grade. So, and of course over here we can go and already output, before we do anything, output dot lines dot add date to string date, today's date, and already output dot lines dot add. Okay, so we've got that gone, that's done, and that is displaying the grade. At the same time as having these totals, we also have a running total, the grand total of all the totals. I tot absent, everybody. Oh, by the way, guys, forgot about that. So I tot absent, let's make it equal to naught. Well, we've got our R total per the grade over here equal to naught. Tot per grade. Let's make it tot per grade, shall we? And make it tot per grade all around. Yeah. Go and change that. I tot per grade. See what I did there, guys? Super awesome. And the I tot absent is a different story. It's going to be calculated over here. I tot absent equals I tot absent, and we want this because they're telling us to give us the percentage of people that were absent. So to do that, we have to add up all the totals per grade before we finish in this whole while loop, you know, I mean for loop. See the nested for loop? Super awesome nested for loop. We always use nested for loops to get to each box inside that 2D array. There we are, accessing it right there in the center of the nested for loop. When in doubt, just picture it. Okay, so we've got our grade, so we're going to have per grade is that and that and that. So let's go and run this and make sure it is working. And then we can get on to our percentage absentees. 2520, I'm going to say that we have that amount of children. Enter data. So there you have it. Oh, show totals. Oh my word, I have to go and enable that. I hate that when you always have these disabled things. It is so irritating. I'm going to enable it before, unless enabled in. Oh, come on. Yeah, right. So we can do this now. 1500, 1520, enter data, show total. So there's our absentees per grade. You can even add up the numbers if you want, but it's going to take a little bit of a while. Let's look at grade 12. Is that 75? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 75, so it adds up 100%. Perfecto. Could maybe just added something a little bit extra there, like, you know, equals. Like such. Right, so I've done that. I added equal signs, that looks prettier. Now, after that, after we've done our running total, our total absent, we want to go and add that. Let's go and put it in. Total absent equals plus into string tot absent. Okay, got that in. Then we're going to display our percentage. I'm going to calculate it while I'm putting it in. Lines.add percent absent equals plus float to string f, and I'm going to say r tot absent divided by what is our variable for oops, we didn't make a global variable. We're supposed to have a global variable, r total. I'm going to have to go change that to a global variable. R total is the thing. R total times by 100, ff fixed, and 8, 0, we round it off. Our total, we have to make that a global variable, otherwise it's not going to work, is it now? So let's go and get that baby out of there, make it global quickly. Okay, 102, enter data, show totals, and total absent. And you know, the thing is here, that 61% absent. I didn't have scroll bars on the switch edit. Okay, so retry. What's retry going to do, guys? Well, seriously, I actually don't want to do retry. You can do it by yourself, and this video's gone on long enough. So, go try this by yourself.